You can be in a room full of people who love you, laughing at the right moments, nodding when you're supposed to, saying, "I'm good, how are you?" without even thinking about it. And still, somewhere underneath all of it, you feel completely alone. Not the kind of alone you can fix by calling someone. Not the kind that goes away when the room fills up. It's a quieter kind, one that sits with you while you're surrounded. The kind that makes being around people feel louder, not softer. Maybe it happens at family dinners, surrounded by people who share your blood but not your inner world. Maybe it happens at work, laughing at a joke that never actually reached you. Maybe it happens in a relationship, lying next to someone and still feeling like a stranger. If you've ever felt invisible in a crowd, this video is for you. Unseen by people who swear they know you. Because you're not broken, and you're definitely not the only one. Here's the thing no one tells you about loneliness. It's not about how many people are around you. It's about how much of you is actually in the room. Think about it. You show up, you talk. You're present on the outside. But inside, there's a version of you that stays hidden. The tired one, the scared one. The one with thoughts you've learned not to say out loud. You've gotten so good at keeping that part of you tucked away that no one ever meets it. And a person who's never truly met can never truly feel seen. So you sit there, in the group chat, at the dinner table, at the party, surrounded by people who know your name, your job, your jokes. But not the thing that keeps you up at night. Not the weight you carry to work every morning and carry back home every evening. Not the real you. And slowly, without deciding to, you start performing. You become the friend who's always fine. One who listens but never leans. The strong one, the easy one, the one who never needs anything. You learned this role early. Maybe as a kid who had to read the room before anyone else did. Maybe you learned that being easy to be around was safer than being fully known. So you built a version of yourself that never inconveniences anyone. One that never asks for too much space. And it worked. People liked that version. They relied on it. But every time you performed being okay, you got praise for a version of you that isn't real. And a little more lonely, because the real you just got skipped over again. That's the cruel part. The better you get at hiding your loneliness, the more people believe you don't have any. So they stop checking, they stop asking twice. And you learn to smile through the exact moments you most need someone to notice. You start to wonder if you're just wired differently, built to always feel slightly outside of things. You watch other people connect so easily, trading stories, laughing without effort. You wonder what it is about you that keeps you one step removed. But here's what nobody tells you about feeling alone in a crowd. It isn't a flaw in you. It's actually proof of something most people never develop. And once you understand what it really means, you stop being ashamed of it. The reason you feel alone around people isn't that you're bad at connection. It's that you crave a deeper kind of it than most conversations are built for. Small talk doesn't fill you up because you were never hungry for small talk. You were hungry to be known. To sit with someone who doesn't need you to perform. Say the real thing and watch it land instead of bounce off. Most rooms aren't offering that. And feeling that gap isn't weakness, that's depth. People who feel this kind of loneliness usually feel things more intensely across the board. You notice the tension no one mentions. The sadness behind someone's joke, the exhaustion behind their smile. You remember what people said they were struggling with weeks after they've forgotten they said it. You feel the difference between someone asking how you are and someone actually wanting to know. You're not lonely because you feel too little. You're lonely because you feel too much. And in a world that mostly stays on the surface, that depth can feel like a curse. It isn't. It just hasn't found the right room yet. Maybe you've noticed it most at celebrations, weirdly enough. Standing in a room full of applause, feeling like a stranger at your own good news. Maybe you've noticed it on holidays, surrounded by relatives who ask the same shallow questions every year. Maybe you've noticed it in your closest friendship, the one that looks perfect from the outside, where you still hold back the parts of you that feel too heavy to hand someone. These moments don't mean the people around you don't care. It just means the connection never got the chance to go deep enough to matter. And here's the part that matters. That loneliness isn't telling you something is wrong with you. It's telling you what you're missing. It's a signal, not a sentence. It's pointing at a specific hunger to be met fully by even one person. And that hunger is not too much to ask for. You've just been settling for rooms that were never going to feed it. Maybe you keep choosing people who are comfortable staying on the surface with you. Maybe you've mistaken being around people for being known by them, because it was easier to accept than to keep hoping for more. Maybe you never learned what it actually feels like to be fully seen, so you stopped expecting it. None of that means it's not out there waiting for you. So if you've been feeling alone in every room you walk into, hear this. You don't need more people. You need permission. Permission to stop performing being okay for people who never earned the real you. Loneliness lifts the moment you let one person see behind the curtain. Not everyone. You don't owe everyone that. Just one. One person you stop editing yourself around. One text where you tell the truth instead of "I'm good." One moment where you let yourself be a little too much and find out you're still loved. That's where it changes. Not when the room gets bigger, when someone finally gets closer. It might feel terrifying the first time you let someone see the tired, unfiltered version of you. But almost every person who's ever felt truly close to someone started with exactly that risk. They said the real thing first, before they knew how it would be received. Until that person arrives, because they will. Stop treating your loneliness as evidence you're unlovable. It's not. It's evidence you were built for something deeper than most people slow down for. That's not a curse. That's a rare and beautiful thing waiting for the right person. You were never too much. You were just surrounded by people comfortable with too little. And the day you stop shrinking to fit their surface, that's the day you stop being alone. Even in a crowd. Even at the family dinner. Even in the group chat. Even lying next to someone at night. Because the room was never the problem. The performance was. Somewhere out there is a person who wants the tired, unfiltered, too much version of you. Not the polished one. Not the one who never needs anything. You just have to stop hiding long enough for them to find it. And you're allowed to stop performing, starting with the very next conversation you have. If this felt like it was written just for you, you're not as alone as you think. Someone else needed to hear this exact thing today, too. Maybe someone's sitting in a room right now, surrounded, and still feeling completely alone. Subscribe if you want more of these, because there's more of you than you know. And I'll be here when you need to feel understood again.